Shangri-La is an underrated map. A lot of people overlook it and mistake it for a really bad map when it really isn't. It's actually a really good map. Considering the baby gun is actually a really good wonder weapon. It has unlimited damage no matter what round you are on, and it has the most ammo compared to any other wonder weapon on Black Ops 1. So just that in mind, that's a really good, that's a good weapon. Considering it's the most optimized wonder weapon, in, considering ammo wise and having unlimited damage. On top of that, you have monkeys who come in. When they come and get your drops, you can take advantage of that to get either perks, and you can take advantage of that to get more max ammo drops. So you're basically, that's pretty much giving you an idea of how a world record's gonna get set, right? So later on in the game, you get into basically the higher rounds. You start using, full hordes, and you start killing them with the baby gun, and eventually, you can only do that for so long. Later on in, the 100 some rounds, and you got to trade out the baby gun, and you got to get it back. So that's basically how that works. So, baby gun is pretty good. I know most people play this map for the Easter egg, and that's pretty cool. That's usually why people play this map, and a lot of people don't even really like this map because it's mostly very close quarter. It's a very difficult map. The layout is something that they don't really like, but for the guys who like playing this competitively, there's a lot of factors that come into play, and Uh, let's get into it. So, from the very beginning, if you notice, we're getting rid of this quick revive machine. And the reason for that is because of entities. If you don't know what entities are, it's basically, in a nutshell, uh, it's part of the programming and the coding in the game. And for a really long time, players, they didn't understand why they were having issues with the game, like freezes and crashes and whatnot. And eventually they discovered it, and what they found out was, basically it's the more entities you have in the game, the longer the reset, and the less entities you have, basically you get a longer reset. So more entities, shorter reset; less entities, longer reset. That's basically the whole point of that. So why would you want a longer reset, and why do you want less entities, and why does this matter? Well, basically, so if you have a longer reset, that means you get to play the game longer, and you can get a higher round. So, if you're playing this game competitively, like these guys are, like Furret, who's the best at what he does, he's the best at this, at Black Ops 1. So, and in all zombies, I would say even that. I would even go as far to say that he's the best at zombies generally. So, uh, why does this even matter? So they can grind rounds out, and they care to get the highest round possible to get the world record. That's what it's all about. So, other than the quick revive machine, there is also some other entities, some that I'm not aware of, but one that I do know of is uh, regrowth. So when you're using the baby gun, you want to make sure that you're killing them, and you don't want them to grow back, because if they grow back, they become a permanent entity on the map, which is really bad. So the more regrows you have, the worse it is, and because you have more entities, which means the reset is not going to be as long as you'd like it to be. So that's a huge factor, and that's basically something you got to really look out for. So entities, that's basically in a nutshell. The less you have, the longer the reset, the higher the round. Basically in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. If you don't know what reset is, there's a timer on the top left corner. It's counting down. Well, it's not counting down just for the amount of time that the game is. There's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to the timer. They're timing to see how fast they're going. They can then also get speed run records. It's showing what their time is basically. So yeah, that's what that timer's for. In addition to that, reset is basically all right. So the game is not unlimited. There is a finite amount of time, how much time you have in before the game ends. On this map, I believe it's over 68 hours. So uh, once you reach 68 hours of playing this game, well, specifically this map, because each map is different. Like Varuk had I think 83 hours, and I forget like Not has over 100 some hours, but this map is 68 hours I believe. So once you reach those 68 hours of playing this map, uh, basically reset. It just resets back to round one, which is why it's called reset. So you play for 68 hours, and you pretty much go right back to round one. And at the end of this video, you'll pretty much see what it looks like. And yeah, that's reset. And yeah, you want to prevent entities so that way, or get rid of as many as you can. There are other entities like the barriers and other things that I'm not really sure of. Like I know shooting a wall weapon, which like on Varuk, uh, I think I forgot to mention that entity that you don't want to use the wall weapon, which you use to keep hitting the traps. You only want to use it for as little as possible, so that way you can keep hitting the traps. So the less, so if you shoot the wall, like in the, I'm sorry. So in Varuk, if you keep shooting like the MP40 towards the zombies, so that you can keep getting points to hit the traps. If you do that too much, it becomes an entity, which lessens the amount of time you'll be able to hit reset. So yeah, on this map, regrows, quick revive machine, and I'm not really sure what other entities there are, but as far as I'm aware of, those are really the two main ones that I know of. And yeah, that's pretty much a main factor in this whole gameplay for this map. What makes this map really really impressive is this whole strategy that Furret is running in this game, which is M16 strategy, which you camp right by the M16 area. You keep that one barrier closed from where the M16 is. It leads out to the rest of the map. But what leads to the AK-74U area, you're pretty much predominantly the whole entire game in that little area. So it's a very small area, very small. And I mean, you gotta like, you're clutching, you're using that baby gun, yeah, it's pretty difficult. And for a very short period of time, you get to take advantage of the napalm zombie, which in a lot of cases it just spawns at points of the game which are really inconvenient. But you do have to take advantage of it and use it to save ammo, and to basically there's a lot of reasons the napalm zombie comes in handy. It could just be a safe spot, could help you save ammo. It could also help you just control the spawns, which is basically what high rounding strategy is all about. It's controlling the spawns, being in an area where spawns come at you faster, but yet at the same time you can play safely enough to grind through the rounds as fast as possible, so you can hit the highest round possible. And in this M16 strat, oh man, it's pretty impressive. I gotta say, like, I mean, you just in this really tight spots, and it's so easy to get pinned and just to die, and very few people ever make it this far, and it's amazing, man. Once again, this is such cool stuff to watch. I love it, man. I love watching this stuff. So yeah, to see somebody try and do this and beat this again using the same strategy, I don't think it's possible. Furret is, he's pretty much the best. He's pulled it off pretty far. He reached 206, which were two instant rounds back to back. So to beat that, and then get to 206, which is a normal round, and I think it takes way longer than an hour to beat that, and and then getting rid of entities that so that way you can reach a longer reset. He was that's the cool thing about getting rid of entities, that it adds more time to your reset. So I don't know if anybody could beat that. They would have to play a lot faster. There are other strategies, and for every map, there's strategies where they could beat that, and I think in some maps like Furret, I think I saw someone recently almost beat Furret's Furret world record. His name was Nestor. I was watching it the other day, and man, he almost had it. He was like an hour and ahead. So on this map, yeah, if you can get like that extra hour ahead, yeah, you could probably beat it. But like I was saying earlier, there are strategies that are faster, but they're more riskier, and I haven't seen anybody pull them off. So like on Varuk, there's Dad Strat, which is a newer strategy, which yeah, you're camping over by where the speed cola is, except instead of opening the door to where the power is that leads to the speed cooler, you keep that closed and then you come in from the other direction. So you're camping there, same idea, with ray gun and all that. But on this map, there's a guy I actually watch him do it from time to time. His name is Krups. He's basically the guy that has all the high round world records on World at War. He's the guy that hit around 10,000, right? So I don't know if you guys heard of him on YouTube. There's a few big YouTubers that mentioned him, like T-Lexify, J25, all those big YouTuber names. I'm sure if you haven't heard of him, well, his name's Krups. He's got all the high round world records on World at War. And I be seeing him trying to do the new strategy on this map, which is called the Semtex strat. And yeah, so it is beatable if you can successfully pull off those riskier strategies. But at this very moment, this is the best one we got so far at this very moment. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at this very tight area. You gotta run through here. Early rounds, it's just such a cluster. I mean, it's yeah, you gotta have those good skills. This takes years of practice, years and years of practice. So it's amazing, man. And then later on, once you get past those early rounds, you start running full hordes, which, you gather up the horde. You use either Semtex or Sally's. You kill the horde. And there you go. You use the baby gun, along with the Semtex and Sally's. So, yeah. And then you got to start trading out the baby gun. So, if you remember, like on Knot, you got to keep trading to get the Thunder gun back. Well, on this map, it's the another factor comes in where basically if you take too long to trade that baby gun back, and you start taking too much time, and your time is taking longer than like whatever the previous world record was, or it's just not fast enough. Yeah, you're pretty much in a bad position where you just got to start all over again. So all that time you spent trying to get this far, like let's say right here, he's around 120, right? He's 14 hours in. So basically, it's a waste of 14 hours, which is really not a bad thing considering, it takes a total of over 68 hours. Imagine this happened way later, like 40, 50 hours. Yeah, that would just suck. And it really, it's a mind job on guys that go through that. I've seen it happen. Yeah, on other maps, and I'm not sure on this map, but I have seen it to happen to guys. So yeah, you got to keep trading out, get the baby gun back, and then you use up all the ammo, try to use drops. If you don't get no drops, then you pack a punch it, and then you come back, start camping and running full hordes again. So yeah, that's basically how that strategy goes. Pretty simple to understand, very difficult to run, almost impossible. You got to be one of these guys, and Furret's the best, man. I think he's the best. There are guys that can beat his records, of course, but, it's just hard to compare. Another thing to consider is the amount of times you got to trade out and hitting that box. So hitting the box also causes, I believe, it causes an entity. And so, that's why you want to get, like, baby gun out of the first box. One of the reasons people camp in these tight little small areas is because zombies only come out of a limited amount of windows. So if you have zombies spawning out of more than 4 windows, you get carpenter drops. So if you have them spawning in less than that, you don't get carpenter drops, which is a good thing. So that means you're more likely to get drops like the ones that you want, like nukes, insta kill, and especially the max ammo. That's really the one you want. And you got to pace yourself how you kill these zombies so that you can get the drops. And these guys, they're fully aware of, keeping track of their drops. And yeah, that's something you also got to consider. Once you get past those rounds, those early rounds, and you get into these mid rounds and trading, you start hitting these insta-kill rounds, which is really dope to watch, man. Oh, man, if you've never seen insta-kill round, it is the dopest thing. I've been wanting to try and do it myself. I've never been able to hit an instant round. I've got to like 125, but man, I would love to hit an instant kill round, and I'm still grinding it out. I'm practicing, working on it myself. But to see these guys do it, oh man, it is so cool. Look at this. He's just using the M16 strat. You know, it looks easy, but you're sweating, man. This is, yeah, this takes work to get this good. He makes it look easy. It's not. It's not, man. But it is so cool to be this good at the game. Like, oh man, this is like the dopest thing for zombie players. You know, if you've never seen this and if you don't like it, well, you know, you don't belong here, man. But this is a freaking amazing, dude. Check this out. He is just killing them with one instant kill. It's like having instant kill drops, but the whole round. Like it's so cool. Look at this, man. Instant kill rounds, man. You got this. Yeah, this is hell yeah, man. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, man. You know, he's just killing them with M16. He's just using the the noob tube out of it, and then boom, and then you go back to regular rounds, on the rounds that are regular, and then instant kill rounds, he uses that. So, yeah, that was cool. So, congratulations for it, man. Look at this. He hit round 206. He's not even bothering. He already knows he's going to hit reset. So, he hits reset in like almost 68 and a half hours. So, thanks to those entities he got rid of, he probably put some more time in it. Yeah, there you go. That's reset. Game ends, and it's going to start back all over to round one. Congrats for it. Take care, guys.